The Young and the Restless spoilers preview video for the week of February 10 to 14 reveals that Harrison Abbott will push Summer Newman and Kyle Abbott to hug, while Claire Newman goes to Victoria Newman with a crisis. For starters, Harrison will be tickled pink when Summer comes over to the Abbott mansion for a family night. After Harrison gets excited about spending the evening with Summer and Kyle Abbott, he'll suggest that it'll be just like Halloween. "Maybe you and Mom will even hug again," Harrison says in Y&R's weekly preview clip. There'll be some awkwardness as Kyle and Summer enjoy this quality time with Harrison, but that could eventually melt away as they focus on the family fun. At some point, Summer may start to realize just how much she misses nights like this. Claire is the new woman in Kyle's life, but Summer's going to pursue a romantic reunion with her ex in the coming weeks. In the meantime, Victoria Newman will notice that Claire seems upset, so she'll ask if there's anything she can do to help. "There is, yeah, you can tell me how to win a fight with Victor Newman," Claire says in Y&R's preview clip for the week of February 10 to 14. Victoria may admit she's still trying to learn how since Victor definitely has a stubborn streak. Claire's plan to make Victor accept her romance with Kyle will come with some snags, so we'll see if Victoria can pitch in. Regardless, Victoria may make a prediction about the challenges Claire's going to face if she stands by her decision to date an Abbott. Other Young and the Restless spoilers say Damien Kane will head to Nate Hastings' apartment, where he'll get Amy Lewis to confirm she's seriously ill. Amy will also come clean about Damien and Nate sharing the same biological father, which makes them half-brothers. That'll lead to Damien hurling some furious accusations since he'll assume Nate is running a scam. Damien will suspect Nate came to Amy with this big lie and took advantage of her, but she'll insist she's the one who found Nate instead. "I was just as suspicious as you are, bro," Nate insists in the show's weekly promo. After Damien angrily warns Nate not to call him that, he'll remain riled up and will push for more answers. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Damien will get full updates on Amy's shocking news, but he won't have the reaction she was hoping for. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Pulse Canvas. It's me, Julie here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching, so let's dive into today's video. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Monday, February 10, reveal that Damien Kane will reject his bro and accuse Nate Hastings of a scam, while Kyle Abbott faces some romantic troubles. After agreeing to meet with Nate and Amy Lewis, Damien will make his way to Nate's apartment for a tense conversation. It won't take long for things to get heated since Damien will feel like some tricks are being played. Of course, Damien may believe the part about Amy having leukemia and nearing her expiration date, but Nate's involvement in all this will raise red flags. Considering Nate's past as a doctor, Damien might think he made grand promises he couldn't keep regarding Amy's treatment. Damien will also feel like Nate's responsible for selling this half-brother story, but Amy will clarify that she's the one who contacted Nate. After Nate calls Damien bro and tries to emphasize that he had suspicions of his own, Damien will lash out at him. Damien will reject any bro talk and struggle to believe Nate's really innocent in all this. Naturally, it'll be hard for Damien to accept that Jackson, the man he believed was his father, wasn't his bio dad. There'll be a lot of stunning news for Damien to take in, but Nate may insist the important thing is reconnecting with Amy. Since Amy fears she's running out of time, she'll push for mutual forgiveness and understanding, though Damien will be tough to convince. Over with Kyle, he'll face some romantic issues since Claire Newman's mission to change Victor Newman's mind will prove incredibly difficult. Victor is pretty stuck in his ways when it comes to his view of the Abbotts, so getting him to support Claire and Kyle as a couple will come with some hurdles. As Claire's optimism starts to fade, She'll give Victoria Newman updates and seek advice on how to achieve victory against the great Victor Newman. Unfortunately, Y and R spoilers say Kyle's romantic mess could get even worse due to Summer Newman's resurfacing desires. A family bonding session for Summer, Kyle, and Harrison Abbott will tug at Summer's heartstrings and stir up some familiar feelings. So stay tuned for that at some point during the week of February 10 to 14. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Kyle could find himself torn between Claire and Summer as this storyline moves along, so stick with us for predictions on his complex love life. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Friday, February 7, 2025 are here. In tomorrow's episode, fans can expect Nate Hastings to get a surprise visitor. Chloe Mitchell shares a history lesson with Sally Spectra. Also, Daniel Romalotti Jr. is suspicious of Phyllis Summers' alliance with Billy Abbott. Keep reading to find out what is coming up in the next episode of the CBS soap opera. Nate Hastings' surprise visitor. Y and R spoilers for Friday, February 7 reveal that Nate gets a surprise visitor. Now, Holden aka fake Damien King already called Nate and said he would stop by. When Holden gets there, he is blindsided by Amy Lewis, so Holden might not have any choice but to alert the real Damien. So Nate's unexpected visitor is probably the real Damien. What will his excuse be for his elaborate deception? Can Amy explain things to her son? Chloe Mitchell's wisdom. On Friday, February 7, fans can also expect Chloe to share a history lesson. Chloe will share this with Sally, so it could be about Billy Abbott and Phyllis Summers. While Billy will insist it's just a business deal, Phyllis is eager to conquer the world. So what will Chloe's advice to Sally be, and could it change things for Billy? Daniel Romalotti Jr. suspicious. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Friday, February 7 reveal that Billy tried to get Daniel in on his business venture. While Phyllis was on board, Daniel thought it sounded too good to be true. Daniel's gut is screaming red alert, and he will get worried about his mother partnering with Billy. Could Daniel go ahead and join Billy's venture just to keep an eye on Phyllis? Friday, February 7, 2025. In tomorrow's episode, fans can also expect Diane Jenkins Abbott to begin her redecorating mission. With Tracy Abbott agreeing to help Diane, Jack Abbott is sure to not be disappointed. Tracy won't allow Diane to do anything to the mansion that destroys its history. There is also Claire Grace Newman's mission to get her grandfather to approve of Kyle Abbott. However, will Claire make the situation better or worse? That seems to be the big question right now. Plus, with Summer Newman struggling with her jealousy, that could play into Kyle and Claire's complicated future as well. Young and the Restless spoilers imply that with Valentine's Day mere days away, all of Geno City's super couples will be coming together to celebrate their love. Of course, as it's sweeps month, fans will also be looking for some unexpected hookups, and Teen Chick is always hoping their favorite super couple may surprise fans with a sizzling session between the sheets. Sharon and Nick Newman's friendly Valentine's date. Sharon Newman has been through a lot lately, and there's a good chance that Nick Newman will offer to take his ex-wife out on a friendly Valentine's Day date. Maybe he'll present the idea that the two deserve a night out to celebrate overcoming the horrific ordeal Sharon's been through. Sharon will happily accept, however, will these two exes find themselves back at the cottage at the end of the night, alone and ready to take part in other activities. The slow burn chick reunion. The soap is always teasing a chick reunion, but over the past few months, chick fans can really feel as if it might be coming. Nick stood by Sharon's side and believed in her innocence throughout the entire Heather Stevens murder case, and in many ways, if it hadn't been for him, she might not have been absolved from the charges. I and our viewers can also sense that both Sharon and Nick still love each other, especially in light of all the Nick hallucinations Sharon had while on PCPs. Still, is a chick reunion in the cards? He shows head writer and executive producer Josh Griffith has hinted to this, but never confirmed it, so fans will have to wait and see. Still, if there were ever a perfect night to solidify a romance, Valentine's Day would be the time. Could fans see Schick hit the sheets and give their love another try? Would you like to see Schick reunite on Valentine's Day? Share your thoughts below. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Friday, February 7, promise some major bombshells as Genoa City heads into the weekend. Someone is suspicious, while another offers a friend a history lesson, and a character gets a shocking visitor. What's set to unravel during Friday's show? Time to find out. Daniel Rumalotti is suspicious. Not overly surprising, but Daniel Rumalotti will become suspicious of Phyllis Summer's alliance with Billy Abbott. After all, Billy and Phyllis have a history together, and it's not a great one. Why is Phyllis so eager to get into business with her former lover again? Looks like Daniel will wonder what is behind his mom's motivation. Chloe Fisher presents a G8 history lesson. Speaking of Philly's past, Chloe Fisher will give Sally Spectra a history lesson on Phyllis and Billy's love affair. After all, Phyllis was still married to Billy's brother, Jack Abbott, Peter Bergman, when the two hooked up, and the entire relationship was scandalous, but also very steamy. Alas, the two did break up in a very ugly way. However, Chloe may feel as if Sally should know just how hot and heavy her boyfriend and Phyllis once were. Nate Hastings' unexpected visitor. Lastly, Nate Hastings will receive a shocking visitor. Considering the close of Y&R's Thursday, February 6, it looks like Nate's surprise visitor might be the real Damien King. After all, Nate tricked Holden into coming to his condo so he could talk with Amy Lewis. The woman had a health scare that day, which is why he decided to pull this sneaky move. After Holden entered the condo, Amy walked down the steps to greet her son, only to realize that the man standing before Nate was not Damien. Will Holden explain why he's an imposter, and will the real Damien swing by to save his friend and fess up? Are you excited about Friday? Share your thoughts below. Don't forget to tune into the Y&R on CBS Daily to catch all the drama, and check out SOS regularly for the best Young and the Restless news, spoilers, and updates. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Friday, February 7, pile shock after shock upon Nate. But isn't it all kind of his fault? Next on The Young and the Restless, Nate was disappointed to tell Amy that Damien wants nothing to do with her. But then we, the viewers, found out that the Damien Nate talked to is actually a dude named Holden, and he's working for Slash with the real Damien to pull one over on Nate. Why? We don't know. How? That's even more confusing. With all the time Nate and Amy have spent talking about Damien, they even looped in Audra. Did Nate at no time ask to see a photo of his brother? Wasn't he curious to see if they looked alive? If he looked like their dad? And if Nate reached out to Damien via professional channels? Don't those LinkedIn-type profiles usually have photos? So when a familiar face shows up at Nate's door, does he have any excuse to be surprised? Motherload. Anything Phyllis does, she does to extreme levels. Her latest obsession is helping Billy build the greatest, hippest, freshest media company ever. Daniel is a wee bit cynical. Billy has a tendency to self-destruct. Phyllis tends to self-destruct. This doesn't seem healthy. Daniel would really not like to be caught in the crossfire. But will his expression of concern prompt Phyllis to melt down yet again? Listen and learn. Sally didn't look thrilled when Phyllis invited herself to Sally and Billy's intimate lunch and ate their Chinese food, to boot. Sally isn't unfamiliar with the female barracuda. She is one too. However, she doesn't know enough about Phyllis and Billy's past. Luckily, Chloe is here to fill her in. The Young and the Restless recap for Friday, February 7, reveals that Holden will confess to Nate Hastings and Amy Lewis, while Phyllis Summers flips over Billy Abbott's Paris trip. At Society, Chloe Mitchell will complain about Sally Spectra going to Paris without her, and will sense that Billy is the reason for the smile on Sally's face. Chloe will acknowledge that Billy is a little broken and doesn't have the best track record with relationships. Billy's professional track record isn't much better, but Sally will defend his new beginning. At Billy's place on Friday's Y&R episode, Phyllis will bring Daniel Romalotti Jr. over so he can ask questions and hear another big pitch from Billy. Daniel will seem like he's leaning toward accepting a role at Abbott Communications, but he'll want a night to mull it over. Billy will urge Daniel to take a few days and will mention his trip to Paris with Sally. That'll leave Phyllis fuming over Billy's distraction, but he won't care about all her complaints. Once Sally comes over later, Billy will try to tempt her toward the bedroom before their upcoming flight. At Nate's apartment, he'll initially assume Amy is confused due to her health issues. Amy will insist she doesn't have memory loss and assure Nate that this man isn't her son. Holden will try to bolt, but Nate will refuse to let him leave until they get some answers. After Holden admits he works for Damien Kane and that he was sent in Damien's place, Amy won't understand all the deception. Holden will point out that Amy and Nate were being secretive as well, so it's not like they have room to talk. Amy will stress the importance of seeing Damien ASAP and will call it a matter of life and death, so Holden will eventually realize she's sick. It'll take some convincing, but Holden will agree to talk to Damien on Amy's behalf, though he won't be able to make any promises. Once Holden leaves, Amy will fret over the games Damien played to avoid seeing her, but Nate will give her a pep talk since he's seen what a good mother she is. Nate will try to make some positive predictions since Holden said he'd see what he could do. In the park, Holden will give Damien updates on Amy's ambush and how he had to come clean. Damien will fume over that news, but Holden won't know what else he was supposed to do in that situation. Holden will also hint about Amy being sick and push Damien to see his mom since it seems urgent. Damien will eventually get Nate on the phone and identify himself as the real Damien before declaring they should meet. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Damien has some shocking revelations ahead of him, so stay tuned. The Young and the Restless preview for the week of February 10 reveals Damien Kane will accuse Nate Hastings of scamming his mother. Also coming up, Summer Newman and Kyle Abbott will have a family night with Harrison Locke. Plus, Claire Newman will turn to her mother for advice on dealing with Victor Newman. Y&R spoilers tease Claire knows her grandfather is dead set against her relationship with Kyle. Of course, this is rather inconvenient for her, since she seems to be falling hard for him. Y&R preview. Claire wants to know how to win this fight. So what's a girl to do? Why turn to her mother, of course. Victoria Newman, Amelia Heinel, will ask if there's anything she can do to help. There is, yeah, Claire replies in the Y&R weekly preview. You can tell me how to win a fight with Victor Newman. Meanwhile, Summer will arrive at the Abbott estate to spend the evening with her ex and their son. We're having a family night, just like Halloween, Harrison will say. Maybe you and Mom will even hug again. Finally, on Friday's Y&R, Damien will agree to meet with Nate. So he'll arrive at Nate's place and find Amy Lewis there as well. So you're sick, he'll say to his mother. And this guy comes to you with this big lie to take advantage of you. Young and the Restless preview. Amy tells Damien she found Nate. However, Amy will tell her son that he has it all wrong. She's the one who found Nate. I was just as suspicious as you are, bro, Nate will chime in, and Damien won't be having it. Don't call me that, he'll reply. But can Nate and Amy convince Damien that they're telling him the truth? Stay tuned. The Young and the Restless spoilers document that Victor Newman believes his youngest son is on track to reconcile. The mustache feels good about Adam Newman and Chelsea Lawson reconciling. Kyle Abbott and Claire Newman are growing closer. They are likely an unstoppable couple, no matter what Victor thinks of his granddaughter's first romantic interest. Victor just dramatically reinforced his place as the head of the Newman family. Tagging him as the Don of Genoa City, Wisconsin, would be hard to argue against. Victor Newman heads the dating game. It's no surprise that Victor wants to engineer outcomes in his family. He feels that his experience in life, including his notorious personal life, makes him an expert on matters of the heart. To his great credit, he did manage to convince Nikki Newman to remarry him for a third time in 2013. This reconciliation resulted in their longest period of marriage ever. So it's fair to say that Victor does know how to find his way back to true love. That makes his encouragement of Adam and Chelsea's move to the old ranch house worthwhile. But trying to break Claire's first relationship is wrong. Victoria Newman stands up for her daughter. Victoria Newman is still getting used to having Eve back in her life. Of course, Eve goes by Claire, and all due disrespect is owed to the now late Jordan Howard. So, when Victor got cranky after returning from the hospital following the shooting, Victoria stood up for her daughter. But she didn't take it too far because Victoria knew her father was enduring the effects of Ian Ward's bullet going through him. Victoria's defense of Claire is correct. Her father only opposes Kyle because of Jack Abbott. There's no basis for Victor to legitimately go against Claire's developing relationship with Kyle, except for the reality of him being an Abbott and using Mueller's character during the Glissade deception. But over at the old ranch house, in contrast, Victor has been thinking good thoughts about Adam and Chelsea for months. The offer of the old ranch house was intended as part of an effort to cajole a reunion. Victor telling Chelsea that he thinks differently about her now was very important. She gained his approval, opening the daytime door to Adam's encouragement. While Adam and Chelsea are cautious in not wanting to create what they feel is a false hope for their son, a Chatham reunion feels more likely than not. Victor will be given credit if that happens, with renewed love potentially being in the winter or spring air on the Newman estate. This site is a leading source for everything linked to the young and the restless. Check back regularly for Y&R spoilers and news. All products and services featured are independently chosen by editors. However, Soaps.com may receive a commission on orders placed through its retail links, and the retailer may receive certain auditable data for accounting purposes. Everyone on Young and Restless believes their Ian Ward problem is a thing of the past, so they'll be taken completely off guard when he makes his inevitable return, and we can't wait. As it turns out, Ray Wise is as eager as Young and Restless viewers are for Ian to come back and stir the pot. Since his last scene, he's confessed that his alter ego's exit coming when it did left him taken aback, given that he didn't want to leave. His most recent stint saw Ward mixing it up with some characters in Genoa City he'd never interacted with in the past, including Maria's wife, Tessa Porter, and his rather volatile partner in crime, Jordan Howard. Considering that Ian professed his love for Claire's crazy aunt during his showdown with the Newmans at the ranch, it would be a shame if they didn't return together. Find out how Jordan could have survived here. In any case, Ian faced down Victor at the ranch and, unsurprisingly, ended up shot during a struggle for the gun Ward had snatched from the Black Knight's henchmen. And while Maria and Sharon had their say, whilst standing over Ian's supposedly dead body, fans were hoping they, as well as Daniel, would get more of an opportunity to take their revenge on the man who brought such pain and chaos into their lives, leaving them forever changed. That's just one of the reasons we're all eagerly awaiting the former cult leader's big comeback, which is not only possible, but probable, given that he woke up in the ambulance last we saw him. When asked about a potential return, Wise teased in Sod, "You can't keep a good villain down, you know?" He's banking on the door always being open for Ian to come back to wreak more of his unique brand of havoc, and is urging Young and Restless fans to be vocal about wanting him back for another run. When might Ian return? The answer, of course, is one never knows. It's the element of surprise that will make his comeback so compelling, not only for his victims, but also the audience, and why sounds ready to go whenever he gets the call. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Claire Newman and Kyle Abbott could be gearing up for a doomed dinner with Victor Newman. Will this boyfriend acceptance plan bring disaster? In the February 6 episode, Nikki Newman urged Claire to sell Victor on how happy she is in her relationship with Kyle. As Claire sought advice, Nikki also suggested Claire should play up Kyle as a caring, protective partner. If Claire can convince Victor that Kyle shares some of the same qualities as him, she feels like she might be able to get her grandpa on board. Since Claire needs a chance to show Victor her current bliss and hype Kyle as the ideal boyfriend, she's hoping they can all have dinner together. That sounds like a disaster waiting to happen if you ask us. This could indeed be a doomed dinner if Kyle fails to impress Victor and pass whatever tests he might offer. One meal won't erase all Victor's loathing, since his disdain for Kyle is more about his Abbott family roots than anything else. At first, Kyle may try to be polite and respectful for Claire's sake, especially since it'd go better for everyone if Victor would back off. However, Victor is bound to get under Kyle's skin as this dinner progresses. That is, if this dinner even happens at all. It could be a challenge to get both Victor and Kyle to go through with this in the end. If the dinner does move forward like Claire wants, then it could backfire spectacularly. Victor could push one button too many for Kyle and launch a heated argument between them. One that leaves Victor even more determined to drive Claire and Kyle apart. Based on my and our predictions, Victor won't give up on pushing Claire down a different romantic path, so this dinner may not go according to plan. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Kyle and Victor will definitely have trouble getting along, so stay tuned for updates on the bad news that's brewing. Lily Brooks O'Brien brought down the house. The Young and the Restless star gave an incredible performance and shared her unforgettable night on social media. Commanding the stage, in a new Instagram post, O'Brien shared a series of photos and videos. The first shot was a black and white photo of the young aspiring star in a sparkly crop top and matching skirt. She took hold of the microphone as she sang her lungs out. O'Brien rounded her post with clips and photos from that stellar performance. She took one step further. Not only did she command the stage, but she also kissed a guy, and she liked it. The mysterious man is a musician named Okoye. In the caption, O'Brien shared that she performed at the Troubadour once again. She is still freaking out over this night. The songstress then thanked everyone who came and supported. I'm so grateful. Shocking Y and R fans. She's making music when she's not busy playing Lucy on Y, and R fans were in awe of her rocking performance, and they took to the comment section to react. One fan wrote, "You look stunning." Another user noted, "On the road to stardom." O'Brien's friend Hannah Kennerly offered up some praise. She wrote, "Hard launch at the Troubadour is iconic." Then she added, "You stay devouring. These pics are everything." Okoye commented as well. He posted 3 red heart emojis to express the love he felt that night. Meanwhile, Julian Lerner gave O'Brien 4 stars for her epic performance. Some fans wondered whether O'Brien was hard launching her new relationship. They wanted to know if she was dating Okoye. That kiss sure looked serious to us. Needless to say, it's nice to see O'Brien flourishing and doing what she loves. What are your thoughts on O'Brien's night out? Did you know about her flourishing music career? Let us know in the comment section. Since the fateful day when Khloe revealed the explosive secret about the DNA of Connor and Adam, the Newman household was thrown into turmoil. Rumors and whispered suspicions had always simmered beneath the surface of their family's seemingly ordinary life, but nothing could have prepared them for the tidal wave of questions that Khloe's revelation unleashed. With her voice ringing out in an angry crescendo, Chloe declared that the truth about their lineage was far more disturbing than anyone could have imagined. Now, the family was left scrambling to piece together the fragments of their shattered legacy. Adam, who had always clung to the hope that the rumors were mere fabrications, found himself drowning in a sea of doubt. The man who had taken Connor into his heart as his own now wrestled with the painful possibility that Connor might not be his biological son after all. This possibility gnawed at him day and night. Every shared smile, every heartfelt conversation was now tainted by the bitter question of authenticity. In his soul, Adam desperately wished that these suspicions were false, that he could cling to the comforting illusion of unbreakable bonds. Yet Chloe's words had ignited a spark of relentless curiosity, a drive to unearth the truth, no matter how painful it might be. Amidst this storm of uncertainty, Chelsea emerged as a voice of clinical detachment. Ever the analyzer, she examined every detail with the precision of a seasoned detective. Without hesitation, Chelsea reaffirmed what many had feared. The evidence pointed in one direction. According to her thorough analysis, Adam was indeed the father of Connor. But her insistence did little to quell the burning questions that now haunted their family. Instead, her declarations only deepened the rift between those who clung to hope and those who demanded an uncompromising look at the facts. The tension reached its peak one chaotic afternoon when Chelsea and Chloe's simmering anger boiled over. In the confines of a crowded living room, where shattered trust and betrayal mingled with old family memories, the two women clashed in a furious battle of words and eventually fists. Their argument, fierce and uncontrolled, served as a symbol of the broader conflict that now threatened to dismantle the very foundation of their family. Onlookers could only stand by in despair as the two, once close allies, now bitter enemies, tore into each other with a force that seemed to match the intensity of the secret itself. Yet, as the physical struggle between Chelsea and Chloe drew gasps from onlookers, a more insidious question lingered in the air. Was Chloe deliberately trying to destroy Connor's life? Why had she chosen this moment, a time when the family was already reeling from so many revelations, to unveil a secret so damning and so loaded with potential for chaos? Even though the veracity of her claims had yet to be independently confirmed, one could not ignore the deliberate nature of her actions. It was as if she had a calculated purpose behind the revelation, an agenda that extended far beyond a simple desire for truth. Those who knew her well recalled that Chloe had always been a force of disruption, a woman whose turbulent emotions and unstable nature made her prone to acts of jealousy and sabotage. Adam, in the midst of this emotional maelstrom, was haunted by another realization. He knew all too well that Chloe was no ordinary person. Her behavior was erratic, her motives murky. She was driven by an insatiable envy, a bitter resentment toward the happiness and stability enjoyed by those around her. It was this envy, Adam believed, that had fueled her decision to reveal the DNA secret. For Chloe, the happiness of others was an affront, a constant reminder of what she could never have. In her eyes, exposing such deeply personal truths was a way to level the playing field, to invade and ultimately dismantle the lives of those who seemed blessed with fortune and love. Despite the chaos, one thing was abundantly clear to Adam. The truth needed to be laid bare. He could no longer allow the swirling suspicions and half-truths to dictate the course of their lives. With determination stealing his resolve, he confronted Chloe, demanding answers in a voice that trembled with both anger and desperation. "Chloe," he began, his eyes searching hers for even a glimmer of sincerity. "Explain yourself. Why would you reveal something so personal? What truth do you claim to know? And why do you insist that Connor is not my son?" Chloe's gaze, wild and unpredictable as ever, flickered with a mixture of defiance and remorse. It was in that moment that her true agenda began to crystallize. There was an unmistakable edge to her words, a dangerous blend of vindication and scorn. "Adam," she replied, her voice low yet piercing, "I'm not here to hurt you, nor am I here to destroy Connor's life. I'm here because the truth cannot be buried forever. For too long, you have lived in denial, clinging to a fabricated illusion of family unity. I was once like you, blinded by the facade of happiness, until I realized that the truth is the only path to real freedom." Her words sent a chill down Adam's spine. It wasn't simply that she was revealing a secret, it was the underlying intent that disturbed him. Chloe's motivations were far from pure. While her delivery was laced with the rhetoric of emancipation, Adam recognized a more sinister undertone, a desire to undermine the very foundation of the family's unity, to shatter the delicate bonds that held them together. She was a woman driven by envy and resentment, determined to invade the sanctity of another's happiness. But even as Chloe's confession poured forth, questions multiplied rather than dwindled. How did she come to know that Connor was not Adam's biological son? Was there any tangible evidence behind her words, or was this another one of her schemes designed to destabilize the family further? The truth lay hidden behind layers of deception, waiting to be uncovered by those brave enough to confront it head-on. The Young and the Restless spoilers and updates pose a question: is Ian Ward really leaving the show for good? That's what viewers are wondering when a shocking sight of Ian seemingly rising from the dead in the ambulance took place on a recent episode. The Young and the Restless spoilers: people always come back from the dead in Genoa City. The sensational CBS soap has certainly kept its audience on the edge of their seats in recent weeks. This week was no exception, as the drama unfolded with Ian and the Newman family at the ranch. In a tense showdown, both Victor Newman and Ian were shot, their fates hanging by a thread. When the ambulances arrived, Ian was declared dead, bringing a sense of closure to Nikki Newman, Melody Thomas Scott, Sharon Newman, Sharon Case, and Mariah Copeland, Cameron Grimes. But wait, does this truly mean Ian is gone for good? In the unpredictable world of Genoa City, comebacks from the dead are practically a tradition. My and our spoilers: Ian Ward's not dead. My and our fans can breathe a little easier, but not for long. The show put an end to the speculation about Ian's fate in a shocking twist at the episode's conclusion. Just when viewers thought the villain was gone for good, Ian opened his eyes in the ambulance, confirming he's very much alive. The show has cleverly left the door ajar for Ian's return, hinting at future chaos. As February sweeps approach next week, the writers might be plotting a surprise attack on the unsuspecting Newman family. Meanwhile, Nikki, Victor, Sharon, and Mariah are celebrating what they believe to be Ian's demise. But in the soap opera universe, peace is often just the calm before the storm. The Young and the Restless spoilers: a villain everyone loves to hate. Ian might be off the radar for a bit as the writers strategize the perfect moment to bring him back into the spotlight of Genoa City. The showdown between Ian and Victor was pure soap opera magic, and it's all thanks to the incredible performances of their actors. Eric and Ray truly delivered in those intense scenes. While we can't help but applaud Eric for his iconic portrayal of Victor, Ray deserves a standing ovation this time. He embodied the villainous Ian so brilliantly that we found ourselves loving to despise him. In his interactions with Victor and the Newman family, Ray's performance almost had us cheering for Ian to emerge victorious. Emotional storms once again sweep through the lives of the characters on The Young and the Restless as truth, love, and hidden secrets are revealed amid tense encounters and rare moments of happiness. The fates of Kyle Abbott, Summer Newman, and Harrison are tested once again. A shocking revelation: Harrison is not Kyle's biological son, changes the course of the story forever. Is family love strong enough to overcome these shocks? Can Summer find the love she thought she had lost? A seemingly ordinary evening at the Abbott mansion opens up unexpected emotions. Harrison, an innocent boy longing for a complete family, cannot hide his excitement when he sees Summer and Kyle together. He innocently pushes them into an intimate hug, a fleeting moment that leaves a deep aftertaste in both of their hearts. Summer and Kyle both feel a little uneasy, but Harrison's cheerful presence helps ease that feeling. They enjoy the warmth of a real family, laughing and sharing as if nothing could tear them apart. But Summer can't help but wonder, maybe she was too hasty in leaving Kyle. How she misses moments like this. Meanwhile, elsewhere in town, CLA is meeting with Victoria Newman to discuss a major crisis. This conversation could change everything. But amid the turmoil, another emotional earthquake is taking place at the Abbott estate, and it's about to turn everything upside down. The shocking truth: Harrison is not Kyle's son. Everything seems to be going smoothly until Tara suddenly shows up with an unexpected truth. She reveals to Summer that Harrison is not, in fact, Kyle's son. Summer is in for a shock. Should she be happy or sad about this news? Part of her feels relieved. If Harrison wasn't Kyle's son, it meant that Kyle and Tara's bond was no longer so strong. But on the other hand, she fears how this will affect Harrison. The boy had always loved Kyle like a father, had spent his entire childhood with him. Would Harrison be able to accept this truth? Summer struggles with her thoughts. Should she tell Kyle right away, or should she let Tara reveal it herself? But one thing is certain, this is not just shocking news. It will completely change the way Kyle views his life. Harrison faces the truth. When the news finally reaches Kyle, he can't believe what he's hearing. All the years he had loved and cared for Harrison, had it all been a lie? He feels betrayed, deeply hurt, but more importantly, he worries about Harrison. What will he do if he finds out? That evening, Summer and Kyle decide to talk to Harrison. The boy sits eagerly on the sofa, his eyes shining with happiness at being surrounded by the people he loves. But that smile quickly fades when he realizes something is wrong. "Kyle, you're my dad, right?" Harrison asks innocently, his eyes filled with hope. Kyle chokes up, unable to speak. Summer gently takes Harrison's hand. "Harrison, you'll always be a part of this family. Nothing's changed. You're still loved just as much as you always were," she says reassuringly. But for a boy like Harrison, the world seems to have collapsed. He feels confused, disoriented. If Kyle isn't his father, then who is? Where does he belong? Kyle holds Harrison close, promising that no matter what happens, he will always love him the same. Though blood may not connect them, their love will always remain. Summer and Kyle, a love that never dies. After all that has happened, Summer realizes one important thing: she still has feelings for Kyle. No matter how much time passes, no matter how many people come into their lives, their love has never truly disappeared. CLA may be the new woman in Kyle's life, but is she really the right one for him? Or is she just a replacement for what Kyle lost with Summer? Over the coming weeks, Summer will wrestle with whether or not she should pursue a romantic reunion with Kyle. Can she move past the past, overcome the hurt, and embrace this love once again? Kyle is equally confused. He knows CLA is a good person, but can he really love her the way he loved Summer? The Abbott family's buried secrets and tragedy. Geno City has never been quiet, but this time, the storms are plunging the Abbott family into a painful crisis. Harrison, a sweet and innocent boy, is facing a big shock, a truth that could change his entire life. Is Harrison strong enough to face it? Can Kyle overcome the pain of Tara's secret being exposed? And what will Jack and Diane do to help Kyle stabilize his mind, while Summer is worried to the point of madness about what is going to happen? Harrison, a boy facing loss. Harrison has always been surrounded by Kyle Abbott's love, the man he believes is his biological father. However, a horrifying truth awaits him. This secret has been buried by Tara for many years, but in the end, the truth cannot be hidden forever. The news is like a blow to Harrison's young heart. Not only does he lose faith in those around him, but he could also fall into a state of severe emotional trauma. Could a child with such a pure heart accept that his whole life was a lie? Harrison doesn't want to believe it. He withdraws, distances himself from his loved ones, and gradually falls into the abyss of pain and depression. Kyle tries to reach out, but each time, Harrison only retreats further. "I don't need anyone. Everyone lies to me," Harrison says, tears in his eyes. Those words break Kyle's heart. He doesn't want to lose Harrison, but the boy is slowly pushing him away. Kyle Abbott, the betrayed father. Kyle Abbott had always loved Harrison with all his heart. To him, the boy was an indispensable part of his life. But when the truth is revealed, Kyle painfully realizes that Tara had hidden something extremely important from him. Harrison might not be his biological son. The feeling of betrayal, loss, heartache, all mixed together into one overwhelming pain that weighs heavily on Kyle's mind. He doesn't know how to face this truth. He can't let Harrison go, but he also can't deny the pain of being lied to. Jack and Diane, the balancers. When Kyle is lost, Jack and Diane are the ones who stand up to keep him grounded. Jack, the respected father of the Abbott family, knows that Kyle needs a rock to keep him from falling apart. "You've always been his father, and that's not going to change just because of a DNA test," Jack tells Kyle, hoping that he won't let go of Harrison. Diane also spends a lot of time with Kyle, helping him escape his feelings of despair. She understands that Kyle needs time to accept this truth, and she won't let him fight it alone. But no matter how hard Jack and Diane try, there's one undeniable truth: Harrison might not be able to handle the shock. What's the way out for all? The biggest question now is how to help Harrison. The Abbott family has been through so much, but this is probably one of the most difficult challenges yet. Kyle will have to find a way to make Harrison understand that even though they are not related by blood, their feelings for each other will remain the same. Tara will have to face the consequences of her lies, and the family will have to come together to find a way to help Harrison escape the darkness that surrounds him. Is love strong enough to heal these wounds, or will it all collapse under the pressure of the truth? Whatever the answer, one thing is for sure: the heart never lies. And The Young and the Restless will continue to deliver dramatic developments as love, family, and secrets continue to be revealed.